Okay, so it's no secret that with the new season, Overwatch has been doing well. That's right, Overwatch, not Overwatch 2. Still kind of great to say that. I don't know, it gives me a warm feeling whenever I say that. But it's just so obvious that there's so many people playing the game right now, and people that maybe weren't playing the game before that are back because of what Blizzard have done with the marketing, with the new heroes, with the balance changes, what have you. There are more eyes than ever on Overwatch, probably since Overwatch 2's inception, I would say, right? It's still really weird to do. I gotta get over that. But there's just no doubt that there are more people playing this game and watching the game, especially because of people like Tim the Tatman, XQC, and just I think a lot of other like smaller, like more niche communities are getting exposed to Overwatch because their content creators are playing it. I'm seeing a lot of people who have only ever played Marvel Rivals now coming over to try Overwatch because content creators who only ever played Marvel Rivals, who maybe came from, I don't know, the COD community or whatever and never actually played Overwatch, are now playing Overwatch. And I think that's really cool. And I think that means that a lot more good is going to come in the future. Or at least that's my hope. Because I feel like maybe a few people are a little too hopeful. And by a few people, I mean like a lot of the Overwatch community. It just seems like we're jumping the gun already to say that Overwatch is back, right? This is not the first time that Tim the Tatman has come to play Overwatch at the beginning of a season. It's just not. And I'm still not entirely convinced that he's not being paid to do it. I'm sorry, Tim. You can maybe convince me otherwise. But like, I am not convinced yet. If in another 2 weeks Tim is still playing, digging his way out of Platinum, I'll be able to maybe concede that I was wrong. But I'm still not convinced that he's just not playing it because, you know, the new hype, maybe even Blizzard asked him to, whatever. Same thing for XQC. His chat always asks him to come back and prove that he's not washed. He gets the GM and then he quits. That's pretty much what happens. He plays for maybe 2 weeks and then that's the end of it, right? And I'm not trying to be a doomer about this, right? Like, I want Tim and his community in the game. I want XQC and his community in the game. Yes, I know that they can be a bit toxic, but I think that Overwatch does need a bit of edge right now. The community, at the very least, does need a bit of edge, does need a bit of bite, whatever. But both of these guys are huge names that made their names in Overwatch. And the fact that they come back is great and everything, but they usually leave after a certain amount of time, and then the game dies down a bit. And it's not even like they come back every season. It's usually only when these big updates happen. So I'm hoping that this update is so good, and so big for people like that, that XQC comes back next season. That, you know, Tim the Tatman comes back every week. You know, I know that he's like streaming at like, what, every other day right now? But imagine if he starts coming every, I don't know, Friday. That would be nice. He just plays Overwatch on Fridays, or he plays Overwatch on Sundays, whatever, and builds a community around that too. Like and his chat, by the way, is actually being surprisingly nice to Overwatch. Like unlike XQC's chat, if you actually like look at Tim the Tatman's chat, they're actually saying, like, talking about the game. They make fun of Tim, obviously, but they talk about the game. They like joke about the meta, whatever. But XQC's you know, chat usually just kind of pisses and shits on the game and says whatever. But it's like, yeah, with these specific content creators, I hope that they stay longer, because then that will absolutely bring the longevity of the game out. This will absolutely make Overwatch officially back if they're here for like over a season. Like there'll be almost no doubt. I just don't see that happening. But if it does, that would be amazing. That would be awesome, especially with like these like other content creators too that like I said, like they're a little more niche and they're playing the game. It's fun. It's cool to see all of these people doing this. I don't know how long it will last. But now the question is, like, what do they do? What does Blizzard do in order to actually keep this momentum going? And it's just so obvious. Like, I feel like I've said this in so many videos. In fact, I've made a video like similar to this about perks last year. Like, Blizzard just needs to keep going. Literally, just keep doing what you're doing. Stay the course. Don't let there be droughts. Don't let there be lulls in seasons. Actually, I can't even say that, because there's always going to be lulls in seasons. There's always going to be weaker seasons. But you need to always be able to recapture those same people right after that, right? I don't know what you need to do specifically, but just don't slow down. Don't slow down on the lore. Don't slow down on hero releases next year, I would say, right? Because we already know we're getting the 5. Make sure that you're balancing the game and making sure that it's not getting stale. I genuinely believe, and I know that people aren't going to agree with this, I would rather, like, heroes that haven't been in the meta for a while, like, what have you, like, whatever hero you might think of, right, as long as it's not, like, Zarya or Hog. Like, I would rather see a hero that hasn't been in the meta for a while just get buffed and, like, be good for, like, half a season. I know that's unpopular, but it keeps the, like, game moving. It keeps the flow moving. I want Overwatch CS2 to really start to, like produce metas to where, like, it can trickle down a bit. I think that'll also stabilize the game, especially with all the people playing it. And now there'll be more eyes on Overwatch CS because of these drops, which are genius, by the way. The Overwatch CS drops are genius. We could just, like, call a spade a spade. It's a great idea to get eyes on the game, but if people are watching Overwatch CS, then they're going to use that as a reference for metas, and then the meta always trickles down no matter what. Oh, straight down to quick play even. So, like, I just really, I don't know, I don't even know what the subject of this video is, man, but I just want the game to continue doing what it's doing, and I hope it does. I have my hopes are high, but I'm more than ready to, like, have them crash. You know what I mean? Because it's just happened, like, so many times at this point, and I'm sure there's a bunch of Overwatch 1, or Overwatch Classic, you could say, players that agree with me, that have literally been, you know, shit on so many times that they're just not even going to give it a chance. And I understand that, and I completely understand that. But yeah, I don't know. And it's not even just these content creators either. It's the edits I'm seeing on TikTok. It's the discourse that I'm seeing on Reddit and comment sections. People just being more into the game again. And obviously it's just because of the new season, but there's just so many more people talking about it. The sheer volume is crazy to me. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but I just have, like, everywhere, you know, people talking about what they dislike and like about characters. There's some discourse that is really starting to bother me at this point. Like, when it comes to, like, people worrying about character designs, but, you know, we're at a point where the game is so good that people are just worried about character designs, right? I'm not talking about the on-run situation. There's a couple more deeper things that maybe I'll rant about in a different video. But it's like, we have a community again. We had a very tight-knit community that kind of just bounced the same ideas off of each other all the time, but I'm seeing different takes, different like views on the game. The way that the game is being played, I feel like, is different. New players just talking about how they never thought that Overwatch was going to be, like, a game that they played, and here they are playing it and enjoying it, and it's cool. It's cool. It's amazing. It's amazing, and it's good that Blizzard did this. But I know I've said it. They need to do it again. They need to keep going. Don't stop. Please don't stop, Blizzard. Just, like, oh my God, please, because it's actually fun. It's actually good. Hopefully, these content creators stay. Hopefully, Blizzard continues pushing the boundaries of balance and hero development and whatever. You know, obviously not too bad. We don't want, you know, terrible metas to where people leave. But one thing I really do want to ask, you know, I like to ask you guys questions or whatever. The people that are new, like, how many of you came from, you know, Tim playing the game? How many of you came from just maybe ads or whatever that have never wanted to try Overwatch but suddenly decided to because of the new stuff? And what really captured you? Is it the heroes? Because I feel like the heroes did a lot for, you know, all the new people that came in. Like, they're all interesting in their own way to certain sets of people. And I think that that's strategic on Blizzard's part. So if you're new, go in my comments. Please tell me, like, how much you enjoy the game, why you're enjoying it, if you think you're going to stay long-term, and what might keep you long-term. But I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that Overwatch is doing so well. I'm seeing it everywhere. And like, there's not really many complaints, right? Like, the meta and the balance is pretty, like we've talked about, poor, but it's still new. Like, it's so fresh that it almost doesn't matter right now. The new heroes are so well integrated. I think really, like, Mizuki, like, personality-wise, is, like, a weird fit, and then on-run gameplay-wise is still a weird fit, but, like, not bad. Like, not terrible in any way, in my opinion. But again, let me know, guys. How have you been enjoying the new season? Are you here because of, like, the new, all of the new updates, or what am I trying to say here? The new content creators coming in, or the old content creators coming back? Like, the players returning? Are you returning because you actually think that it's been good, and have you been enjoying it because it's good? You know what I mean? Just give me some feedback. I want like a lot more feedback than I feel like I've been getting lately, not from just, you know, the usual suspects. I love you guys, by the way. Please keep commenting. But like, I want some new people to tell me like how they really feel about this season. Give me negative reviews if you have them. Seriously, like, we need to know the negatives from new players, because I know all the negatives from like the consistent player perspective, right? Like me and most of the people in my community have been playing this game nonstop for a long time. We all share most of the same opinion. So if you're new, please, in my comments, go for it. All right, this wasn't really much of a rant. It was just more of kind of a chat. But I hope you guys liked it, and talk to you later.